Today, we're embarking on our journey through from hell. Expect twists, a series of turns, and spoilers. Proceed with caution and hold on tight. We're diving in. In the year 1888, Mary Kelly and a handful of other prostitutes in London are forced to endure unending torment on a daily basis. Their acquaintance, Anne Crook, who used to be a prostitute, but is now married to a wealthy painter named Albert, just gave birth to a daughter named Alice. Anne Crook's previous profession was as a prostitute. After Anne is taken hostage, the women find themselves embroiled in a plot that has connections to high society. Following Anne's kidnapping, another woman is viciously slain, indicating a pattern. It quickly emerges that every prostitute is being hunted, killed, and grotesquely mutilated after death by a notorious serial killer referred to as Jack the Ripper. Frederick Aberline, a smart but troubled man whose work as a police inspector frequently benefits from his psychic visions, develops an interest in the killings of prostitutes in Whitechapel. Aberline is unable to move on from the loss of his wife, who passed away 2 years ago while giving birth to their child. His co-worker, Sergeant Peter Godley, makes an effort to understand Aberline's peculiar beliefs. The investigations conducted by Aberline have revealed that an educated individual who is most likely familiar with human anatomy is responsible for the murders. This is because the procedures utilized were extremely precise and surgical in nature. Medical professionals declare Anne to be criminally insane and aggressive and place her in a facility for those people shortly after her lobotomy. It is strongly suggested that the operation was carried out with the intention of silencing her. Aberline seeks the advice of Sir William Gull, a physician who serves the royal family, based on Sir William's extensive experience and expertise in the medical field. During the course of this conversation, Gull is able to deduce that Aberline is battling an opium addiction. The data that Gull has uncovered points Aberline in the direction of a darker and more well-organized conspiracy than he had initially anticipated. After falling in love with Mary, Aberline becomes extremely invested in the investigation, which takes on a more personal significance for him. Aberline comes to the conclusion that there is a Freemason influence behind the murders. Aberline is removed from the investigation because his superior, a high-ranking member of the Freemasons, disapproves of the techniques he is using. After that, Aberline does not give up and eventually figures out that Gull is the murderer. Gull was given the directive to get rid of any witnesses to the illegitimate marriage that painter Albert Sickert had conducted with Anne Crook, who was also the mother of his legal daughter, Alice. It turns out that Sickert is actually Prince Albert, the grandson of the current monarch, Queen Victoria. Since Albert has syphilis and is on his deathbed, his daughter Alice will soon be the heir apparent to the throne of the United Kingdom. Gull brags to Aberline that he will be remembered for giving birth to the 20th century, as they are both talking about history. Aberline takes his revolver and swears that Gull will never see the 20th century. But before he can shoot Gull, he is knocked out by Ben Kidney, who is also a Freemason. Aberline then vows that Gull will never see the 20th century. Aberline fights back against the Freemasons, who are attempting to eliminate him without leaving any witnesses, and he manages to eliminate one of the assassins by rolling a carriage over on him. Next, he makes a desperate attempt to save Mary, but he gets to the scene too late, and he blames his boss for not assisting either him or Godley with the cases. After witnessing a terrible murder, Aberline finds a lock of brown hair in contrast to Mary's red hair, and decides to keep this piece of evidence hidden in order to protect her. The increasingly ominous behavior of Gull provides a window into the psyche of a murderer who is also coldly calculated. In order to shield themselves and the royal family from the controversy, The Freemasons opted to have Gull lobotomized rather than publicly accusing him of the crime. Gull boldly proclaims his superiority over others, displaying no remorse leading up to the procedure that eventually incapacitates him, paralleling Anne's own condition. Abilene travels to the Whitechapel establishment, known as the 10 Bells Tavern, where he is handed a puzzling letter by Mary. It turns out that Gull killed another prostitute named Ada, thinking she was Mary, but he really ended up killing Ada, despite the fact that Abilene is aware that she is somewhere. He decides against seeking her out, respecting her worries about being under close surveillance by the Freemasons. He destroys Mary's letter because he is aware that he and she would never be able to lead a regular life together. After some time has passed, Sergeant Godley discovers Abilene dead from an opium overdose. Godley, who is upset, comforts Abilene by placing 2 pennies over the prince's eyes and telling him, "Good night, sweet prince." In later years, it is revealed that Mary has given her daughter Alice a new name, and that the two of them now share a home perched on the edge of a cliff overlooking the ocean. From Hell, released in 2001. Directed by Hughes brothers, Albert and Alan. Produced on a budget of approximately $35 million. The film was successful at the box office, grossing approximately over $74 million worldwide. The film is based on the graphic novel of the same name by Alan Moore and Eddie Campbell. From Hell is noted for its dark, atmospheric visuals, which effectively evoke the squalor and fear of the Victorian-era Whitechapel district in London. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more videos like this. Your support keeps the reels rolling, so thanks for watching, and we'll see you at the next recap.